So, the whole class is yours. Relax me, और if you want keep one more in the front, पाँव ऊपर करके बैठ सकते हैं. Adjust yourself, sit relaxing. This also you can reduce it. Both humming sound will come in the recording. ॐ सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्परां. गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः. गुरुः साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः. सरस्वती नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणी. विद्यारम्भं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा. कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नन्दनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः. श्रीकृष्णः परमात्मने नमः. तद्विद्धि प्रणिपातेन परिप्रश्नेन सेवया उपदेक्ष्यन्ति ते ज्ञानं ज्ञानिनस्तत्त्वदर्शिनः. यज्ञात्वा न पुनर्मोहम् एवं यास्यसि पाण्डव. येन भूतान्यशेषेतः द्रक्ष्यस्यात्मन्यतो मयि. अपि चेदसि पापेभ्यः सर्वेभ्यः पापकृत्तमः. सर्वं ज्ञानप्लवेनैव व्रजिनं सन्तरिष्यसि. यथैधांसि समिद्धोऽग्निः भस्मसात् कुरुतेऽर्जुन. ज्ञानाग्नि सर्वकर्माणं भस्मसात् कुरुते तथा. न हि ज्ञानेन सदृशं पवित्रमिह विद्यते. तत्स्वयं योगसंसिद्धः कालेनात्मनि विन्दति. Shraddhavan labhate jnanam tatparas sanyatendriyaha jnanam labhva param shantim achirena digacchati. Okay, it has been now after 2 weeks the class is there. Hopefully you all are still connected to what we were discussing and 2 weeks back. Tadvidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upadekshanti te jnanam jnaninaha tattvadarshinaha. So after giving the 12 different yogas, 12 different sadhanani, Krishna clearly confirms there is no other sadhana equivalent to jnana sadhana. Okay, and Shreyan Dravyamaya Yajna Jnana Yajna Parantava Sarvam Karmakhilam Partha Jnane Parisamapyate. So, whatever one does, any type of sadhanas, any type of things, finally it has to come and rest in jnanam, because jnana devatu kaivalya. If there is a person who can argue saying that no, karma itself will take it, or bhakti will take it, any other, or maybe yoga will take it, one have to understand very clearly all the sadhanas you have to use the prakriti part, which is your body, your mind, your intellect. If you are doing karma, anything, and when you take prakriti in it, you have to understand one thing, that there is a lot of imperfection in it. And when there is an imperfection, if the instrument used has not got perfection, how will the result be a perfect one? If the means used are not perfect, how can the end result be perfect? And hence, whatever anyone does, if that person needs shashvatam, that moksha, the only way is to come to knowledge. Without the knowledge, no person will get moksha. Even if they believe that they are mukta, that is ephemeral. It is not a long-lasting one. It will change with time. Okay. Come and sit and closer. Okay. Malti madam, please be on mute. Yeah. So, it is very, very emphatically mentioned, and that is the truth. Why? Go to the logical reasoning. What gives bandhakatva? Aham bandhosmi, what makes you feel? Aham apurnosmi, what makes one person feel? The only reason why a person feels that and yearns to go to do something to get that purnatvam is because he is ignorant. He is ignorant. Why is he ignorant? Because he doesn't have the right knowledge. He doesn't have the right knowledge. Means what? He has some knowledge, but that knowledge is a wrong knowledge. That knowledge is an incorrect knowledge. What is this knowledge? I will attain purnatvam by something available in this world. That is going to give me purnatvam. This thought itself is an incorrect one. Why? Anything available in this universe is apurna. How can apurna thing give you purnatvam? So when you rationally look at it, if you have to go to purnatvam, the only way to go to purnatvam is to remove my ajnana. Ajnana nivrittina purnatva prapta. Now ajnana nivritti, when you say, how will that go? Only with jnana. Okay, and from that basic principle, na karmana, na prajaya, na dhanena, tyagena ekena amritatvamanashuhu. Only with this knowledge, purnatvam will come. Tyagena ekena means what? Vairagya. After that, take sannyasa. Come inside. There's a lot of place. Come inside. This jnanam alone can give purnatvam, because when that jnanam is there, what is that jnanam? It is not the garvam that I have the jnanam, it is the jnanam that aham atma asmi, natu devosmi. I am not a body which has got an atma, but I am eternally the atma which incidentally is got a body in this janma. That's just the change of view. The moment this change of view comes, whenever you say I am atma, then anything happens to the body, anything happens to the setup, I don't bother, because that will never upset me. Why? That is completely ephemeral, transactional. Shashwatam nasti. What is Shashwatam? Aham atma asmi. So jnana devatu kaivalyam, and hence after getting completely fried up and going from pillar to post and not getting that Shashwata Ananda, this student has to go to a teacher, and not by himself or herself, saying that I need to know about myself, so let me learn it by myself. That's the biggest mistake anyone can do, because if you could have learnt about yourself, you would, by yourself, you would not be in this state today. The fact that you are in this miserable state, not knowing who am I, is because you have tried understanding that and miserably failed. So don't try a path of failure. Then what is the right path? Tadvidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upadekshyanti te jnanam jnaninas tattvadarshinaha. There is a person who has learnt it, who has got the conviction about it, who is living with it, and he is a jnani and a tattvadarshi. Not only theoretical knowledge, not only he has completed Shravanam and Mananam. Tattvadarshi means Nididhyasanam eva. That means Paripurna Jnanam he has got. That means he has got answers for all your questions. Okay. And such a person is always waiting to give this knowledge to an eligible student. Eligible student. What do you have to do? Sarvopanishado gavo dogdha gopala nandanaha partho vatsas sudhir bhokta dugdham geetamritam mahate. As Krishna kept this Arjuna as a calf, so that the Upanishad Gavaha will give the milk, which is Gita. Like that, you have to become a calf in front of this mother cow teacher, who will just give all the knowledge, so that you can take it and become Paripurna. That doesn't mean you will become Mukta. Shravanam gets over. Then inquiry, Mananam. Okay, and after that, no guru can help you for Nididhyasanam, You have to understand the change of habitual way of thinking with converting it to this new way of looking at it. I always used to see different design when I went to the gold shop, but the teacher taught me design anyway will be there. Look at the gold every time. I have understood it, I am very clear, but again next time when I go to the shop, I start looking at the design. Why? Habitually I have been looking at the design. That time the jnanam should come. No. I see the design also, but after a point of time, first gold. Goldeva Satyam. Goldeva Satyam. And after a few such years, you will only look at gold and say any design is good. Doesn't matter about the design. So far as it is gold, that is fine. That change will take time. And that no guru will do, because nothing has to be done. That is where it is swadhyaya. You have to do it yourself. But without this knowledge from the guru, without getting a conviction, if you sit and do that, you do not know what you know is correct or wrong. The Shastra Darpana is not shown. That means it's a Shastriya knowledge you will not know. Then any knowledge cannot be called Shastriya knowledge. And if it is any knowledge, not only it is harm for you, it is harm for everyone. Correct? It is harm for everyone, because you will propagate the wrong knowledge. Okay. When such a thing can happen in so many grossest of our learning, in the subtlest of learning, which is Atma Vidya, this can very easily happen. Even after sitting with the teacher for years together, one day you will say, oh, this is what it means. Means what? So many years I never understood what the teacher said. Correct? So it has to take time. Slowly it unfolds. The gift wrapper will open, and one day that gift will be visible to yourself. You, the gift, will be visible to yourself. The teacher is only opening the gift wrapper, Shastriya and giving. But you try to do it, it will never happen. Like the camera can never take its photograph, your own mobile cannot call itself. Like that, you will never be able to know yourself. It is a futile exercise. So, don't challenge the Shastra. This is where, even if you have to say blind faith, call it blind faith, because there is a deep logic sitting into it. And today I am not able to understand the logic, that is why I call it blind faith. My eyes cannot see itself, my ears cannot hear itself. It's such a big logic. You say, what is the big thing in it? When I can hear everything, that means my mind is objectifying everything. How will an objectifying mind know the subject? Bahirmukha, my mind is always going out. How can it be turned inside? It is impossible. So an objectifying mind can never see the subject. Even if the objectifying mind sees the subject, it will objectify the subject. That is the biggest problem. Okay. If you want to understand what is this objectifying mind, making the subject as the object, is it too confusing? Mind is objectifying. When I say objectifying, I the subject, my mind is subject, that looks at an object and looks everything as outside and understands it very clearly. But that same mind as an instrument, I am turning it to see me, which is the subject. What will it do? It will say, oh, there is one you who is sitting inside. That means it has objectified the subject also now, because it is used to seeing it that way. Are you able to get this? When you go to yoga, after dhyanam there is samadhi. Okay, what is dhyana? Triputi is there. Dhyata, dhyeya. When the dhyata is connected to the dhyeya, that process, what is happening, is called dhyana. That means there is a subject, there is an object. This subject thinks only about the object, and the process of the subject thinking about the object is called dhyana. Three things are present. If either of the thing is not there, it is not dhyana. Clear? From here you go to the next step called samadhi. In samadhi, what is supposed to happen? this Trikuti has to get dissolved. Okay, the subject and the object merges to one. If it merges, then there is nothing called a process. It is like I want to go to VT and reach VT. So I go from here. That means I am going, destination is VT, there is a time required to reach there. But the moment I have touched VT, then what happens to the whole thing? I and VT have become one. Correct? So there is nothing called a time frame to reach it. I am just making some exaggerated examples so that you understand what is the subject and object. Okay. In Dhyanam, for example, I am looking at a peacock or a rose and I am doing Dhyanam. Let's imagine that. And I get into that peacock samadhi. What is exactly happening? For this process of three things to get merged to one, either the peacock should become me or I should become the peacock. Are you able to get this? Peacock becoming me or I becoming peacock. What is happening in this samadhi? Don't tell me both are the same. Then you have a problem because subject is different, object is different. Is the object getting merged with the subject or is the subject getting merged with the object? Are you able to understand this? Subject getting merged with object means what? When I come out of the samadhi, I clearly know I became the peacock for that period of time. So whose identity was lost? The subject's identity is lost. See, understand the biggest problem here. In Savikalpaka Samadhi, the subject's identity gets lost. And that is what is the first step of Samadhi. If this doesn't happen, the other thing will never happen. What is the other thing? The object getting merged as the subject. Means what? That peacock, aham asmi. Like that, everything aham asmi. Aham brahmasmi. That object getting merged to the subject is what is going to happen later on. Are you able to get two different things are exactly happening here? Nirvikalpaka, the object becomes a subject. In Savikalpaka, subject becomes the object. But that's a step to go. You can't jump directly. Only from Sagunatmaka Ishvara, you can go to Nirguna Ishvara. You can't go to Nirguna and then come, okay, now let me add Guna to it. Never it will happen. Nirguna is removal of Guna to which is already there. So first Saguna Ishvara, first Savikalpaka, first is you will always make the subject an object. And this is what, if you do not go to a teacher, you will end up doing this always. There is an Atma. There is a God. Correct? There is an Atma. There is a God. But you are the Atma. No, I am there, but I have an Atma. I agree I am there. Like I have a clothes, I have an Atma. Are you able to get the subtlety of such a statement? That means I have misunderstood. When you are ready to own up Aham Atma, Natu Deha, Natu Jiva, then that Jnanam is there. And this, with that objective mind, you will never get to the subtlety of subjectivity. So what is the teacher going to do? Turn this objective mind to make it subjective, slowly, and then open out that you are that Atma. And after that, if that student says, I understood, sir, I am the Atma, then who are you? then you have to understand student does not understood anything. Right now, it is like that. There was a person. He always thought he was a crow. He always thought he was a crow. Okay. So he used to behave like a crow. He used to, someone does something, he will imagine that he is flying. Everything, he used to believe he was a crow. Completely. It's crow samadhi. This is called crow samadhi. He has gone into crow samadhi. So the people in the house and all, they tried to tell him, no, see, you are a human being, the crow is here, this is different, it is, see, look at yourself, no? Ah, yes. But after that, again, I am a crow. So finally they said, this case is a little screwed in hai, jana padega doctor ke paas, we cannot solve it. So they went to a doctor. Doctor treated him. He treated him for nearly 4-5 years. And that guy said, doctor, I am perfectly fine. Now I have understood I am not the crow. After 1 month, 2 months, when he was very convinced that okay, this person has completely transformed, he believes genuinely he is not the crow. He said, okay, it is time for you, you can go home. Your family people have come. He said, wait. He said, what are you doing? I am opening and checking if dogs are there outside. He said, why? How do they know that I am not the crow? You understand the problem now? That is exactly the issue. When it comes to Atma, सब होने के बाद किधर न किधर वो झलक आएगा, which is of our old habitual thought that I am not the Atma. Till that, the teacher has to patiently teach, clarify, justify, समझा के, अगर नहीं समझ पा रहा है तो make that mind ready. Certain sadhanas will be told, try doing this, then come to this. That is why this Panchakosha Viveka comes, going from the grossest to the subtle and then subtlest. We all start Anando Brahme, I am the Atma, we start proclaiming without even knowing what it is. Anandamaya Gosha started first without even knowing what it is. And that is how we are all normally. And hence, they say, Tadvidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upadekshanti te jnanam te jnaninaha tattvadarshinaha upadekshanti. Yes, they are so much with lot of humility. Okay. Devanugraha hetukam. That person, what is it in Viveka Chudamani, it comes now. Ahetuka daya sindhu. Ahetuka daya sindhu. Hetu, desire. Ahetu doesn't have any desire. That person has no desire. Ahetuka daya sindhu. Ocean of humility just to give. Like the Ganges, when it is flowing, is not bothered who is taking what. In some places hydroelectricity is made, in some places water is taken for puja, some places the water is misused, some places it is going to the industry, still the Ganges continues. Like that, Ahetuka Daya Sindhu is the Guru. He will always give, she will keep giving if eligibility is there. That is something. And again, if someone says that is wrong, Guru is partial, he doesn't live up to his own knowledge, Aham Brahmasmi, Sarvam Brahmasmi, Sarvaivam with Khalu, Ivam Brahma, he is considering me different and hence not giving, he is considering that person different and hence giving. No, there is Pakshapata, Bheda in the Guru. This is something we have to understand. This knowledge is Paramarthika knowledge. It is principles. But when it comes to Vyavahara, transactional world, you have to continue certain dharma and rules. Only then that Paramarthika will be available properly. Otherwise you will distort it. Okay? Otherwise it will get distorted. No, when Adi Shankaracharya was coming in Kashi after the temple darshanam with the Shishyas, there was a Chandala who came. You know who is a Chandala? A Chandala is in English, if you have to say, an uncouth person who doesn't believe any norms of the society, will just live up to his or her own selfish desires and will not bother about the society and just will be in a demonic action in presence of everyone, will not have any large sharam, nothing. They will be that way. All tamasic gunas, and that is why that Chandala is characterized that way. So Chandala is not a person. Whoever has these type of qualities, we call that person a Chandala. Okay. So there is a Chandala, and how the Chandala is coming? Dark in color. Pura baal itna ganda, stinking, दारू पी के धुत हो गया है. He has got dogs barking with him and coming. He has got liquor in his hand, ladies with him. Absolutely that not at all in a basic level of society, social. Even animals will not be that way. Like that he is coming. And obviously a Chandala means you can't go near them, because why? If you go, they will start impacting your Sattva Guna and your Tamo Gunas can get activated. So you be away from them. You don't try to change them. They go as per their Svena Bhagadeya, you go away. So while coming out from the temple, some of these Shishyas saw this. There are people who go in front and they say, Jaga banao, aisa. So they saw Chandala. अब उसका नजदीक जाएगा तो it's a problem. Because they cannot be predicted what they will do. उसको जाओ बोल ही नहीं सकते तुम. वो उधर से आए तो तुम जगह निकाल के साइड देना बोलते हैं. You know when this घंटा गाड़ी and that big, what is that vehicles they come, that dumpers, and when they come, you have to give them sign. Never try to tell them that you are coming on the right and all. You will be smashed. Correct? Like that, give side and allow them to go. आपका भी हित में, उनका भी हित में. So like that. Kashi is a place which is very small lanes. ऐसा double lanes सब नहीं है. Not currently what Modi has done. No. Different Kashi. That Kashi Vishwanatha stays in a Hridaya which has got such many small lanes. It is like that. Kashi is known to be like that. Small bylines keep going. So when the person comes, there is no place for तुम side में हो जाओ मैं जाओ. One has to reverse मार के निकल जाना पड़ेगा. वो तो नहीं जाएगा. अभी इनको जाना पड़ेगा. So someone said, you please ask him. Hopefully he will listen to you. Ask him to move. So Adi Shankara said, Gacha. He said that. And obviously, as you all know the story, it is Kashi Vishwanatha who had come in the form of a Chandala to test Acharya. So he asked the question. He says, Kim Gangambuni Bimbite Paramano Chandala Vati Payaha Bhure Chantara Masti Kanchana Gate Mritkum Bayor Vampare Pratyak Vastu Nimistaranga Sahaja Nanda Vabodam Budo Viproham Swapachoham Ityapimaha Kaha Ayam Viveda Brahmaha. If such a thing is told to any learned person, and if they genuinely believe that they have the right true knowledge, they have to just crumble and fall down. Why? He is basically asking a question, hey sannyasi, Kim Ganga Ambuni Bimbite Paramanaha Chandala Vati Paya. You have the Ganges. I have the होते ना कचरा जाने वाला जो दट पडल नाला, मेरा घर का बाजू में नाला है, तुम्हारा गंगा है, दोनों में सूर्य का प्रतिबिंब अलग है क्या? किम गंगामुनि बिंबिते परमणो चांडालवाटी पयः पूरे मस्ति कांचन घटे मृत्कुंभयोर्वाम परे. Whether the water kept inside your golden pot or kept inside my earthen pot, is the water different? What is the question he is asking? Hey sannyasi, if you go by the content, aham brahmasmi, jnanam, will you tell me gacha gacha? Have you not looked at me as Atma Swarupa? That means your jnanam is not jnanam. If you have looked at me like Ganges versus this puddle, that means I have a Chandala, you are a Brahmana. If you have looked at it that way, only from that external Mayavi Sharira and given value to it, then I have my own doubts that you are a knowledgeable person. So you are asking me to move from which perspective? From the content or the container? From the container, if you ask me to move, then I doubt your knowledge. From the content, you can never ask me to move. If you have the right knowledge, you know everything is one. So gacha gacha is for whom? That is the question. See, understand. These are real situations and how we, because on one hand we are saying Sarvam Brahmasmi, that means there has to be no Taratamyam at all. Society, social norms, everything goes. Correct? Vyavaharika is with the setup. Paramarthika is with the principles. Hold on to Paramarthika, continue Vyavaharika in the light of Paramarthika. If I only say hold on to the Paramarthika, then you will negate Vyavaharika. मैं और चांडाला एक ही है, आ जाओ, सर्वम ब्रह्मास्मि. No, that is wrong. Why? Dharmashastra will again counter that. What it will say? Yadyadacharati shreshtaha tattadevetaro janaha sayat pramanam kurute lokastadanu vartate. Then there is no difference between wife and mother, sister. Understand what happens then? It is a big problem then. And hence, this as a principle. Then you can't say that, okay, in this reality, if everything is like this, sarvam dvaitaha. No. So, gold being the principle, different designs will make you call a necklace, a earring, everything exists, but they are of a lower category, sarvam gold iti. So in Vyavahara, you will never take a necklace and put it on your nose. You will never take a bangle and put it on your neck. Why? You will never do it. You may be a jnani. Will you do it? You will not. That is Vyavahara. But whatever you wear, you will surely know that it is gold. Okay. Keeping gold in the mind, continue Vyavahara. Continue Vyavahara means what? Then you will not do wrong Vyavahara. It will be dharmika, which will lead to this paramarthika. That is the importance. And hence, that taratamyam should be there. And hence, the Guru will check the eligibility. Okay. And find out the patrata, and only when the pot is completely ready, start pouring into it. If it is not ready, उसे गड़े को कैसा पकाते? आग में डालते. तो ये आग में डाल के पका के अच्छा से एकदम कच्चा गड़ा या पक्का गड़ा. I hope you all know that bhajan of Namdev and Tukaram, na? घड़ा पक्का है कि कच्चा है, मार मार के देखो। हाँ, वो इधर मार के देखने का काम है। वो घड़ा का मतलब ये है, ये कच्चा घड़ा है कि पक्का घड़ा है। लाइक दैट द गुरु विल चेक, कच्चा घड़ा है कि पक्का घड़ा है। पक्का हुआ तो ही उसका अंदर पानी डालेंगे, कच्चा है तो क्या होगा, इट विल जस्ट ब्रेक। दैट गुरु विल डू, ओके, एंड इट इज फॉर आवर गुड, because when we are tested and when we get in through that, then only एक कच्चा घड़ा पहला पक्का होएगा, साधन चतुष्टय संपत्ति आएगा, घड़ा पक्का हुआ तब जाके उस पर ज्ञानम डालेंगे, and that ज्ञानम will be contained in it. Is it clear? That is what this तद्विद्धि प्रणिपातेन परिप्रश्नेन सेवया उपदेक्ष्यन्ति ते ज्ञानं ज्ञानिनस्तत्त्वदर्शिनः. Okay. Does it mean you simply go and just submit and keep quiet? No. Pranipatena, do namaskara. Help. Why? Only when you take time, just logically look at it. The person has got, what happened? Ask me. बाद में related to the topic, बाद में let me complete this, after that I will answer. अच्छा, that answer, he says जाग्रत स्वप्न सुषुप्त्यवस्थिषु स्फुटतरा यासं विदुज्जृम्भते या ब्रह्मादि पिपीलिकांत तनुषो प्रोता जगत् साक्षिणी सैवाहं न च दृश्यवस्थिति दृढं प्रत्यास्ति यस्यापिते चांडालोस्तु सतु द्विजोस्तु गुरुरिति एषा मनीषा ममा. He flatly fell to his leg and said, you are the guru. Chandalaha api dvijaha, you are the guru. Why? Only a guru knows such a question can be asked. And vyavahara is different, paramartha is different. If I start doing this, there are so many people who are looking upon me, they will also do it. Then the social structure will get disturbed. Okay, we are not just jnanis in the society, there are others also. So we should never break it. And then he gives, that is called Manisha Panchakam. He gives 5 shlokas completely in that, and all related to Paramarthika. And immediately he smiled and he said, yes, you have understood it rightly, and he just went off. Okay. So, story apart, but the idea was to tell Taratamyam needs to be there. Needs to be there. Without Taratamyam, simple. Even a jnani, if someone throws a stone coming to his head, he will do this. He will not say, I am a jnani. This sthula shariram asti jayate vardate viparinmate pakshiyate vinashyati iti षड विकाravate etat sthula shariram. इधर भी मारो चलेगा मुझे. That is foolish. That is foolish. Right? So, jnanam should be where it should be used. If you use that jnanam at all the places, it is like तुम्हारा हाथ में अगर एक चाकू दिया है तो उसको जिधर यूज करने का, कट करने का, उधर ही यूज करो. सब जगह उसको यूज करने को, पीछे स्क्रैच करने को यूज किया, इसके लिए भी यूज किया बोलेगा तो यू आर मिसयूजिंग इट और wrongly using it, or it will harm you. So no one uses it that way. You have to be very careful, right? So what does the duty of the student now? Pranipatena pariprashnena, asking questions. How to ask questions? That word Upanishad itself means Upanishad, sitting close to the teacher. Why do you sit close to the teacher? If two friends are coming, hey, let us sit close to each other. Means what? Let us chit chat. That is only you sit close to, na? Sitting close to the teacher for what? Not simply looking at his face and feeling very happy about it. Oh, Guru, it is not going to help. Only when you put your ignorance out and he throws light on it, that light will come into you and remove your ignorance. For that, exchange has to happen. For that, pariprashna has to happen. And how will pariprashna happen? It has to be nyayen. It has to be properly done with a lot of humility, with a lot of submission. Okay. Last time also I mentioned, just don't, you can't go and ask, sir, I heard it is like this. Is this correct or is that correct? What does it mean? I heard it is like this. That itself, that ego is sitting here. Is this correct or is that correct? Means what? I am ready to test you. Think, okay, what is the other way of asking? These are practical. I know it is not meant, but communication expresses subtly the thoughts within you. It just comes out unknowingly. Then how to present it? For that, first is, I have a doubt. When you start from that point, I have a doubt, then automatically it says that I need clarity. Then you start, this is what I have learned. This is my knowledge. I do not know whether it is right or wrong completely. You can correct me. Then comes, with this knowledge, when something is told like this, I have a confusion now. Whether it is this or whether it is this. Can you help me? See, it goes step by step. The teacher understands the question the moment you have to talk half a line. We know where the questions are. It's not that the teacher doesn't understand, but how much are you receptive to listen to the teacher? Because when asked from that perspective, you are actually not listening to the answer. You are thoda kuch uska sunke, the next question is already started. Agla kya puchu, by which I start getting question pucha. Very good, nice question. That is not going to be. In reality, it never goes. Okay, so pariprashna, how to ask the question. And our Upanishads are full of pariprashna. That is why the chapters are called prashna only. The chapters are called prashna. Rudra prashna. Prashna means what? Question. So I have a question. Then there is an answer. With that, another question comes. The whole Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna's question, oh question. Krishna answers, the next question is ready. Prashna, pariprashna. Upanishads are filled with that. Bhrigurvaiva rudihi varunam pitaramupasasara adhihi bhagavo brahmeti. In the third line, the student's question is just presented with full of humility. That word adhihi itself says, oh great person, only you can answer this. Adhihi bhagavo brahmeti. You please tell me what this Brahman is. Bhrigu vai Varuni. Bhrigu Varuni. Bhrigu Varuni is the name of that person. He goes to Varunam, to Varuna. Who is this Varuna? Pitaram, his father. Upasasara, sits near him. I say, chalte chalte bolte na. You know, typically in offices, especially in the men's washroom, you can see this. The subordinate is in and the boss comes around. And the subordinate is want to go out, the boss is coming in to the washroom. Hey, I'll ask you something, huh? And then this guy runs away first. That is not the way Upasasara is. No. You go, sit. Can I ask a question? Then you slowly ask the question. How? Adhihi bhagavo brahmeti. Over that one sentence is the question for which the whole third chapter of the Upanishad is coming out. For that one question properly asked, the teacher will just keep giving. It doesn't stop. But if wrongly asked, the teacher will first retard. Why? देना है कि नहीं? किस हिसाब से पूछ रहे? For what are they asking? कच्चा गड़ा है कि पक्का गड़ा है मालूम भी नहीं है. बोल के भी क्या करना है मालूम नहीं है. Whether it be useful or not to that person. Whether they misuse it, we don't know. So sometimes, many a times, knowledgeable people will just smile. And this Brihaspati student will feel, I asked such a question that the teacher also did not understand it. No problem. Okay. This is, unfortunately in our current educational system, this is missing. Because the teacher is never valued as a master of knowledge, but rather always looked as a paid servant in today's situation. The teacher cannot say anything to the student. The parents and that whole group will come howling at the teacher and the principal and the school bunk karo. Everything will start. For what? We are paying. The teacher should know how to behave with our child. Very unfortunate. Knowledge never will grow. And that is why good teachers never want to continue teaching. Why? The value of that knowledge is lost in school many times. It's little sad, but unless we bring that in our children, no, the teacher is, even if the teacher has taught wrong, I'm telling you, even if the teacher has taught wrong, that respect to the teacher has to be there. Has to be there. There is no other option in that. No other option. In my assessment, I'm not sure, Matradevo Bhava, Pitradevo Bhava, Acharya Devo Bhava, but many of the people can touch their hand to their heart and say, surely we respect parents. But if that respected teacher comes, then even parents are aside. Even parents are aside. Children will fight with parents telling that, no, my teacher taught me like this. Because a teacher in our system has got that level, and genuinely, because it is only after that transfer this child is knowledgeable and understands what I benefited. It is not coming without that knowledge. That knowledge makes that child to fight for the teacher. Because the child has seen genuinely what the teacher is saying is correct. Otherwise the child will not have respect to the teacher. Does so at least ठीक है, but बच्चे लोग they are very clear. They are mirrors. It is that way. If it is not, it is not. They will fight with anyone. And that's how it should be. So that teacher, that respect, how to communicate with the teacher. But at the same time, no, this is my teacher. I will not ask anything. I will blindly follow. You are one of the most useless students. Why? I am not using my upper student. Blind faith is not taught in this. There is nothing called blind faith here. There is nothing called faith itself. That faith word is wrong. You should have Shraddha. And which Shraddha? When you know that if these all are coming right, what is taught, obviously what is taught, which I will know later on, will also come right. And that is Shraddha. Then you keep all your ears and mind open when that knowledge comes. Correct? And that is why Tadvidhi Pranipatena Pariprashnena and Sevaya. Okay, I have to do Seva. That part is okay, to some extent, somewhere that class monitor is given some job who does a Seva. Otherwise, there is nothing called Sevaya in today's world of this education. Please understand why Sevaya. First question is, was the teacher really dependent that they needed someone to serve them? Before you coming, what was happening? Was the teacher so dependent? लाचार थे क्या? फिर मैं आके क्या सेवा करने का? So seva is going to benefit whom, the teacher or myself? Is the first question. If the seva is benefiting the teacher, then I will never do it. If the seva is benefiting me, then I will do it. And how is it benefiting me? Making my path Shastrata better by bringing down that ahankara. My ahankara should get subdued, 100% should get subdued, then only I will be receptive to what this teacher is telling, and hence for myself, Sevaya is required. The teacher doesn't want it. In fact, many a times, more disciples mess up the teacher's personal plan, what they do. उसको वापस ठीक करने में और but they will never shout, ठीक है, you did this not good, okay. And they will again turn it and keep it here. Especially puja करते time, you should see new people. Karthik is smiling very nicely. They will come with all their enthusiasm. They will come. ये इसको इधर से उधर रखेगा, उधर से इधर, ठीक है, सब हो गया. Then again you move it where you want and then you continue. Because they have to learn it that way. Seva is not getting everything close to where it has to be. For that you have to first sit and see. Like that, you have to observe what is needed, then do, then check whether it is right. This all comes as a part of seva. Okay, not that I have done it, I have done my job. Whether the teacher likes it or not, accepts it or not, I am not bothered. It means what? My ego is so high, it is not going to work. So, understand this. These values, I can tell you, I don't think Brahmajnanam anyone is expecting from these classes. But if these values come, and if we bring it in us, in our children, in our own, that does a long thing. That gives a lot of internal satisfaction when you do something like that. Okay, which otherwise, even by earning also or this, you don't get that satisfaction like what you are doing. Oh, I did something for my teacher. That feeling is what is correct. Okay, so what you are able to do is not the question. How much you are doing is not the question. With what intent, with what return are you doing it for yourself? That effort is most important. With the right attitude, put the effort, automatically Seva will give you that benefit, because what? The Seva Pariprashna is going to open the tap, which that filled reservoir is just closed the tap and kept. With these things, you open it and then it starts flowing to you. Is it clear? Right? Very important one. That is why taken a long time. Even the last full class was only with this. This class more than half gone only with this. But it is a very important. And not only here, in any of the objective knowledge, important. Subjective knowledge, only important. If you want subjective knowledge, this is the most important. Objective knowledge also, surely this will help. Okay, right. After the class. Class has to go ahead. Okay, let's go to the next shloka. यज्ञात्वा न पुनर्मोहम् एवं यास्यसि पाण्डव येन भूतान्यशेषेण द्रक्ष्यस्यात्मन्यथो मयि यज्ञात्वा न पुनर्मोहम् एवं यास्यसि पाण्डव येन भूतान्यशेषेण द्रक्ष्यस्यात्मन्यथो मयि. पदविभाग. यत् ज्ञात्वा न पुनः मोहम् एवं यास्यसि पाण्डव येन भूतानि अशेषाणि द्रक्ष्यसि आत्मनि अथो मयि. Again let me tell you. यत् ज्ञात्वा न पुनः moham evam yasyasi pandavaha yena bhutani asheshani drakshyasi atmani atho mayi. We will do the Anvaya. He Pandava. Okay. Pandava comes, bring that Pandava first line end, bring it to the start and give a Sambodhana. He Pandava. Sambodhana Prathama Pandava. Yat Nyatva. Yat Nyatva. Tvam Punaha Evam Moham Na Yasyasi. Yat Nyatva Tvam Punaha Evam Moham Na Yasyasi. Yena Bhutani Asheshena Atmani Atho Mayi Drakshyasi. Okay. Yena Bhutani Asheshena Atmani Atho Mayi Drakshyasi. Okay. 34th Shloka is bringing the student and to the door of Atma-jnana. And from 35 to 37, what is the benefit of Atma-jnana? How does an advertisement go? L'Oreal, this shampoo. Immediately after that, what they will show? This lady is pulling a wall, breaking a wall with the hair. Benefit. What does it tell? This hair has become so strong. By what? L'Oreal shampoo. So, having told the product, now the benefit, then only you can sell the product. Krishna did the same thing. He gave the product, he told which shop you will get. Go to that shop, you will get this product. Then after that, the person has to go to the shop, right, and take the product. Unless you sell the benefit, why will the person go? So next two shlokas are only benefits. What is the benefit of Atma-jnana? If you are a jnani, what is the benefit? How? Go to the backer. He talked about Brahma Vidya, Brahma Sadhanani and other Sadhanani. Then he clarified that Jnana Yajna is the highest. Jnana Yajna means Jnana Sadhanani is the highest compared to all the other Sadhanani. You can't compare it. Why? That is removing ignorance. The others with the ignorance, you are ignorantly better. Okay. I am ignorantly better. That means if I am with iron shackles, with other sadhanani, I can become with golden shackles, but shackles will be there. Jnana Yajna is going to break the shackle irrespective it is golden or iron. Correct? And hence that is a bigger one. Now having said that, he enumerated all the other shackles which are available. They are all beneficial. Do it. And last, he clarified that among all this, Jnanam is the best. Then he said, where will you get the Jnanam? Tadviddhi pranipadena, go. But after that, this Arjuna has to go, or we Arjunas have to go, for which benefit is being told again. He says two benefits in this particular shloka. What is the benefit? Hey Pandava, Hey Pandava, Yat Jnatva. See? Now, he is not saying if you become a jnani. He says Yat, when you join this, someone will call it Yajnatva. Yajnatva, Yajnatva is another meaning. There is a ja here and here. Yajnatva it is. Yat Jnatva. Knowing what? Having known this knowledge. Having known which knowledge is the question asked here. And then told her. That means Atmajnana Jnatva. Is it clear? Na tvam punaha evam moham na yasyasi. Evam. That word evam, evakara, when it comes, it is emphasis. You will never. There is a very high amount of emphasis. That means maybe you would have changed your mind with other sadhanas, but with this Atma Jnanam, it is 200% sure. Eva, only with this, moham na yasyasi. Okay, yasyasi. What is the meaning of yasyasi? What? Yet has to give. Yeah. Yasyasi is you will not get into. Not future tense. It is present only, na? Gachasi, yasyasi. Okay. You will not get into punaha again, moham, delusion. With which knowledge, hey Arjuna, you will never ever get again into the delusion. Means what? Arjuna, you came in with a delusion. Correct, na? How do you know that? 7th Shloka, 2nd chapter tells, he himself says, what is the 7th Shloka, 2nd chapter? That is 11th Shloka. Karpanyadosho swabhavaha prichhami tvam dharma sammudha chetaha. What is sammudha chetaha? Mudha, foolish. Sammudha, completely fooled. Chetaha, my mind. And due to which Karpanya doshaha, kripana, I am dependent. It is, I am not of that nature. Well then, I am normally very confident. I don't know why I am so, I can't understand what has happened to me. Karpanya doshaha. Prichhamitvam dharma sammuda chetaha. I know fighting this is dharma. I know running away is adharma. I see if I don't fight this, I get the benefit of these two people. I see if I run away, people are going to shame me. I am now puzzled. I am deluded. My mind, my knowledge is not supporting me. Sammuda chetaha. That sammuda chetaha, he is again referring here and saying that na punaha moham yasyasi. You will never get into such a situation with this knowledge, not only now, in any time in your life. Because this knowledge has made such a clarity that it will not give the question of getting into delusion. Because delusion comes only due to ignorance. The knowledge has removed the ignorance. Where is the place for delusion? Are we able to get this? So he says, Yat jnatva tvam punaha evam moham na yasyasi. That is I am giving you an assurance, 100% assurance that you will never. And everyone logically, when you think about it, you know, ignorance caused the whole issue. Correct? He told already in the 3rd chapter. Sangat sanjayate kamaha kamat krodho bijayate krodhat bhavati sammohaha sammohat smriti vibhramaha smriti bhramshat buddhi nashaha buddhi nashat pranashyati. So sammoha will never come. Why? You have the right knowledge. And if you have the right knowledge, what will not come? The cause for sammoha will not come. What is the cause for sammoha? Krodha. The cause for krodha will not come because you have the knowledge. What is the cause for krodha? Kama. Kama means what? Attachment. Your attachment is the biggest problem that is making you do that, and if that attachment is not there, then you have no problem. There is a difference between attachment and relationship. Relationship is not equal to attachment. Are you able to understand? Only when two are there, there is something possibility called LOVE, love. If you alone are there, there is no question of love. I love myself. It's all a stupid statement. It doesn't have meaning. Right? Expression of love comes only when two are there. Correct? What is the difference between love and attachment?
Attachment is when I want something.
That means it is give to take. It's a transaction. Love means give. Correct? If love is there, there is no problem because it is only dependent on you. If Prakriti and Purusha is there, in Prakriti setup only moham can come. Correct? You will never have a moham with even with animals it can be. Can anyone say moham with animal? Example. Delusion with animals. Human being and animals. Delusion. Is it possible? A pet is a moham. Intense attachment. Why? Because when the pet goes, I am miserable. I am miserable. You never did it only for the pet. You expected a return in terms of a reciprocation from the pet in whichever way which you used to get, and hence that has converted that love to attachment. You have to be very, see, Shastra very nicely brings it. Not only that, Jadabharata became, he had to take one janma because of this. A jnani, full jnani, you would have got moksha. Deer ka bachche ko dekha, attachment. Over, one more janma to move that. Small baby of a deer, what will that baby reciprocate? Nothing. Just its presence, how beautiful it looks. Enough. Moha. Are we able to get it? So there is nothing that I need to really achieve. That moha can come from anywhere. You have to be clear. That desire turning to attachment. That is why you say, use the word preference. It makes a big difference. I have this preference. Perfectly okay. Everyone can have preferences. But the moment you say, I need only this, then it is attachment. You know, many a times when someone comes home, that's what will you have? Do you prefer tea or coffee? You'll say anything is okay. But that person in the mind has a very clear choice. See, it is, you have to cut that mind and see how it works. Ours as well as others. Because you are either this side or that side. Now, this person who is asking has a certain choice in terms of which is easy to make. Now, this person has a choice which has got a taste rather than which is easy to make. But both will play the game. That person will ask, what do you prefer? This person will say anything which is okay. Now, that person is very happy. Anything which is okay, bolega, to now the ball has come to my court, I can play it. Now, this person is sitting. Actually, I wanted coffee. लेकिन अभी चाय शाम का टाइम है, सब लोग चाय पीते हैं, मैं भी हाँ बोल दिया, कॉफी तो बनता था, जाने दो. I will settle with it. समझ? These are not preference. Preference means actual preference. Both are okay to me, even at thought. Okay, so when it is a preference, you will not have a problem because genuinely it's a preference. For example, you go to a movie, there are 4 seats which is booked. You want to sit here or you want to sit here? This is okay or that is okay. Then wherever you sit, that seat is not going to trouble you then. You have forgotten it because that's your preference. But if you have already seen who is the person next and then you have made up your mind to sit somewhere else and someone says you sit here, then every time your mind is not on the movie, it is but on the neighbor. Here, I couldn't enjoy the movie also. This person was so irritating, even though that person would have been keeping quiet. Okay, our mind plays these things, and we have to know this. When it is real and when it is our own game which the mind creates, we have to know. And that our mind created game is called moha. Yajnatva na punarmoham. You will never get this. Why? You will never value it. See, when you go to a 1-year-old child and take a nice, good, bright colored toy which makes sound and which has movements and other things, you take that in one hand and imagine you have a 10,000 rupee note available, you keep it on the other hand and show both to the child. Correct? On the same time, if a person who has already got millions of rupees, if few 100 rupees someone comes and gives, what is the value for that person who is already sitting on millions of rupees? So a jnani who is paripurna, these things become so ephemeral. But at the same time, he will not say no to others because they are still enjoying in their level all these things. But I will not stop you. At the same time, I will not discourage you. I will not tell anything. But I don't need it because I am much more equipped with a bigger thing which I am happy with. When I have that gem in my hand, I will not run behind these few chiller things. Right? Same way, moham is a chiller thing when jnanam is there. When jnanam is filled, this moham will never come because 2 steps before itself it is roasted and gone. The kama and krodha gets roasted and that will never germinate out through that person. At the same time, that person will not internally feel desperate and disturbed. I am now portraying myself as a jnani. I can't even tell people, oh, then you are not a jnani, you are an ajnani. Andar shant. Jnanam labdva param shantim achirena digacchati. It is going to come now. Shraddhavan labate jnanam, that is what is going to come. See, jnanam labdva param shantim achirena digacchati. Is with that. Shraddhavan labate jnanam. Second line is that. Correct?
Yes.
So, this person will never get moha again. That is first guarantee. You know, whenever a person comes with a problem, you always give first solution as that. Okay. Someone coming for the problem of pimples, I will say that you will look 10 years younger. They will say, I am not interested. First, remove those pimples out. So, the first benefit I have to give is, for what have you come? Is that going to get impacted? Arjuna came with the problem of moham. Krishna first gave, that is the biggest benefit. Hey Pandava, their basic problem is out with this. Not only that, further benefits also. Now what is the further benefit? Okay. The next benefit, so benefit number 1, moham will never come. Benefit number 2. Yena bhutani asheshena atmani atho mayi drakshyasi. He is gone to the he goes to a logical reason why this moham you will not get. He is reasoning why this moham you will not get. What he says is, Yena, Yena bhutani ashesheda. Okay. Yena is by this, by that, or by that knowledge. First one, what did you say? Yat jnatva, by knowing this knowledge. So yena means by that. It is continuation. Okay. By that means by that knowledge of Am Brahmasmi. What happens? Bhutani asheshena atmani. What is Atmani? Saptami Ekavachana. In yourself. In me. Asheshena Bhutani Atmani. Knowing that knowledge, you see everyone in you or as yourself. Are you able to get this? With this knowledge, you will see the whole world as you yourself. Will the left hand have moham about the right hand? Or dvesham about the right hand? Anytime has your left hand complaint. No, you are utilizing your right hand more, you are using this very less. Who can complain? You will complain that I am utilizing this less and I am utilizing this more. But will the left hand complain about the right hand? No, why? Both are one only, no? In every cell, aham iti sakshat. In this cells also, it is me. Is the pain in the right hand different from the pain in the left hand? Impossible. Why? It is me. Same way, everything around you, you see it as you. Na dveshyati, na kankshati. Where is dvesha? Whenever you see Drona and Bhishma separately, then my Drona is going because I am different, Drona is different. If Drona gets killed, my teacher is getting killed. If Bhishma gets killed, my Pitama is getting killed. The moment I use my, two are there. My bag, how many are there? My donkey, how many are there? Both are same? No, na? My body, how many are there? Two. Me and my body, now me is separated out. My mind, how many are there? If someone says my Atma, then the problem is they have not understood Atma, because they are believing Atma as something different other than that Atma itself. Who is telling my Atma? If you say my Atma, who is the person telling my Atma? Atma's Atma. समझ में आ रहा है? For someone to claim it is mine, there has to be someone right, subjective behind. Who is that? It is not there. So telling my Atma is wrong. Then how do you say, me the Atma? Where is my then? Me the Atma, my body, Atma's body, Atma's Sharirira, Atma's Mana, Atma's Buddhi, Atma Ahankara. Then it makes sense. But when you say me, my Atma, it has no meaning. Are you able to get this? So the moment you say all this is me, when you say in me, it means me. My hand is in me. Every cell is in me. Means what? It is me. No difference in identity between me and that. So everything becomes me. The whole of Rudram is that. completely it goes. Namo hiranyabahave se nanye dishan chapataye namo namo vrikshebhyah. Namo vrikshebhyah means what? Vriksha. Everything it is going that way only. The whole Vibhuti Yoga will go that way only. So from that focused mind, now Chitta Vishalata is bringing. Everything is now getting finally back to me. That means now how many are present? Only I am present. Okay. Aham Atma present. When you make such a statement, unknowingly you have made another possibility ready. Can someone imagine another possibility different? Everything is in me, I agree. Okay. For understanding this, if the Prime Minister has to talk about every citizen of India, he will say, they are all me. Yes or no? Then who is different for him? Who is not him? Has he left someone in this complete, intersection part we have seen, or the union part we have seen? That what is the left out portion? Anything has been left out by him. So many things he has left out. If a Pakistani comes, if an American comes, all left out, na? Because I told you India, you are only seeing India. But India is not the universe. Correct? Now this person has got no such boundaries. Everything in the universe is me. Clear? Has he left anything? Yes or no? Not left anything. How about Ishvara? How about Ishvara? In me? Not so easy. You can, because all mortals, you connect. Knowing that I being Deha mortal, because mortality is to Deha, how am I able to comprehend that immortal Ishvara is me? So everything okay except Ishvara. Will be the logic. Correct? If you, next question, if you genuinely are a jnani, will you do things like Kannappa? Kannappa. Any idea? That is later. What did he first do? Margavartita. He removed his chappal and kept. मुंह में पानी भर के अभिषेकम मांसा कपलम खा खा के भगवान को नैवेद्यम. You do it? Why? Because he is different than me. For him only good things have to go. And that is what Kannappa did. Why? He thought Bhagavan is different than him. Unknowingly that will set in. That is where our Shastras can go, which we can't even imagine, that unknowingly it is setting in my mind, which I am not aware. The Shastra is reminding that there is such a thing which will be there. Everything you will accept which is mortal, because I am mortal, they are mortal, I can very easily accept. But what about, is the sun me? Is the moon me? Oh, that all is not okay. As much as human beings you tell it is okay, animals, lions, everything okay. But that sun and moon, sun? Why? Immortal. For me it is immortal. Like that Ishvara, Aham Alposmi, Sarvajnaha, Alpajnaha, Sarveshwaraha, Alpeshwaraha, Sarvantaryami, I do not know what is happening in my house also. Big difference is there. Everything else, limited, I agree. But limited encompassing unlimited is a problem. Why did this come? Why this problem came? Because of limitation. Yajñātvāna punarmoham is related to limitation. Upadhi is already considered. Then he says everything is in me means what? Everything with different upadhi is me. If that Atma Jnanam is not there, you will say there is called everything, bolke there is nothing. There is one Atma only, then that next sentence he need not have to tell. But we are in the progress of learning. So even if Arjuna accepts, okay, Drona and Bhishma are me, except with different upadhi, my moham can go. But still, Bhagavan is different. So to bring that, Atmani Drakshasi, Mayi. Mayi is what? Saptami Ekavachanam of Aham. Krishna is telling in me, you will see in you and in me. Means what? The statement put is what? You will see everything in you and you will see in me. How is it possible? Only when you are equal to me. Only in such a condition this is possible. Tat Tvam Asi. Very clearly bottom. Are you able to get this? How logically he has moved. Very, very technically, nicely is it? Yajñātvāna punarmoham evam yasyasi. Then he says, Asheshena bhutani atmanaha drakshasi. You will see Asheshena bhutani atmani. Atha mai drashyasi. You will see in me also. Means you and me are no different now. Are you able to get that? Very beautifully he has given that. So, two benefits. First, moham will not come. Okay. Second one is that paripurna jnanam aham brahma asmi, that jnanam will be. That jnanam itself is the benefit of jnanam. That is the beauty of it. Brahmavit apnoti param. Brahmavit apnoti param. Brahmaiva Brahma bhavati. One who has the knowledge becomes it. Just imagine, what do? I earned this to benefit. Correct? Here the statement is what? Knowing this knowledge makes me you. In objective world, what is it? I get it, I benefit. Correct? Here this knowledge of subject, when I know, I have benefited with the knowledge, but I have become the knowledge itself. How tough it is to even communicate this. Think about it. It is so tough to communicate, and Shastra communicates that very well. That is a benefit. So it is not that I wanted that knowledge, I had the knowledge, that knowledge was not available to me. What knowledge? That I am you. I had that knowledge because of my buddhi's qualities, mind's qualities, that was covered. You only helped me to remove the cover, and that knowledge which is inside, what? I am you and no one else, you are me, and we both are not different but one, non-dual one. That knowledge which is in me, now I know. समझ में आ रहा है? Okay, it's like Karna, Radheya to Kaunteya. Karna is Radha's son, charioteer's son. He always aimed to be a prince. And the day when Kunti told Karna, "You are my son," what happened? That ignorance that he is not a prince converted with knowledge that Aham Princosmi. Not only that, is that princelyhood a crown he got, or there was a complete change that he is a prince, is a conviction now. It's not a knowledge, it is an instant transformation. But that doesn't mean that he has no relationship with Radha. No, that will continue. But he, that inner quest, Aham Prinsa, that gets completely negated. It negates everything else. Like that, Aham Atma Gudakesha, I am that Atma and I am nothing. And Ishvara is not different. Everything is in Ishvara, everything is in me, which means A equal to B, B equal to C means A equal to C. Aham Ishvaraha, Aham Brahmasmi. Asavadityo Brahma, Brahmaiva Aham Asmi. That is, we fake it and make it. That's the reality. Ending of Upanishad is what? Every Upanishad, you go to second chapter, third chapter, how is it? Etamannamayamatmanamupasangkramati Etamanandamayamatmanamupasangkramati Tadapyesha Shloko Bhavati Yato Vacho Nivartante. Where speech stops. Apra-apya manasa saha cannot be held in the mind. Anandam brahmano vidwan na bibheti kutascha neti. Dvaitat bhayam bhavati na bibheti kutascha. With no one he is afraid of. Why? There is no second. Eva etagam havavana tapati kimahagam sadhuna karavam. He thinks kimaham papam akaravam iti. Saya evam vidvanete atmanaggas pranute ubehye vaisha ete atmanaggas pranute ya evam veda ityupanishat purushaha. It comes down. Asavadityah sa esha pur Sidame Vashinaha Ayam Dakshinah Pakshaha Ayam no. Sa Esha Purushaha, then Asavadityaha. That Purusha is the same as Aditya. Like that they connect it and leave it. There is no Ishvara separate. Aditya is a visible Ishvara. Okay. So they connected in Upanishads, they beautifully connected that you are that Purushaha and the same is that Aditya. No different. Upadhi will be different. Upadhi has to be different. One Atma. Okay. Thread being one, how many clothes are being made? Clothes are different, thread is one. Clear? Okay. So, two benefits very clearly. Punarmoham na yasyasi evam nyatva. Okay. Second, Jnanam, Asheshena Bhutani Atmani Drakshyasi. Cha Asheshena Bhutani Mai Drakshyasi. Is it clear? Okay. Right. Then he says, he goes to a completely different mode. The benefit of Atma Jnanam, if someone says there is an exception to it, he removes all the exception in this shloka. He says, Api chedasi papebhyaha सर्वेभ्यः पापकृत्तमः सर्वं ज्ञानप्लवेनैव ग्रजिनं सन्तरिष्यसि. Simple one, we'll take the meaning in this. It's not very tough. Api, also. Chet, asi. Asi chet. In case there is a papebhyaha sarvebhyaha papakrittamaha. There is a person who has just done only sins and sins and sins. Papi, mahapapi. Sarvebhyaha, all krittamaha. You know what is krittamaha? Papakrittamaha. Superlative. He is the most highest in doing the papa. Papa krittamaha. Krittaraha krittamaha. Krita, kritavan, krittaraha, krittamaha. Superlative. वे उससे भी बेकार कोई नहीं. Why? Who comes in this? Papa krittamaha, who comes? Who will fall into that? Why? Atatai. Now you got it. This is how we have to connect. He says, including Atatai, who has to be given capital punishment. Sarvebhyaha, papebhyaha, papakrittamaha. What happens? Sarvam jnana plavenaiva. This jnanam, once that person gets, okay. Plavena, plava means boat. Santarishyasi means reaching to the other side. तैर के वो साइड जाना. तरिष्यसी, संतरिष्यसी, very easily will migrate and go to the other side. How? Jnanaplavena vrajinam santarishyasi. Even with that oceans of his papa karma, which he has got, not just in this janma, in all the millions of janmas which that person has taken and all the papa karmas are there, this jnanam will be like a boat and take him from this bank to that bank. Means what? Moksha. Here punarapi jananam, punarapi maranam, this bank. That bank is moksha. No punarapi jananam, no punarapi maranam. What is taking? This jnanam is taking as a boat. That means, बोलते ना, सो बाहर के चूहा हज को गए, लेकिन ढंग से हज को गए तो बिल्ली मारना भी प्रॉब्लम नहीं. Because that change, permanent change has to happen, and if that happens, there is no problem. That is how a Valmiki is born. Pichedasi papebhyaha papakrittamaha. Just that Saptarishi coming and telling Rama Rama, you tell, knowing what his ability is, they don't just say Rama Rama. He used to say Mara Mara. Even he could not even say Rama Rama. That much papa he is. But Mara Mara converted to Rama Rama and he became Valmiki Rishi. So, this jnanam, without an exception, not only to see these shlokas are very, very important shlokas where there is a lot of debate happening. When it comes to Brahma Sutra, there are a lot of debates. Atyashrami, will they get moksha? Who has left the karmas? Like that, who has done papa? If that papa karma is going to fructify so much, from where is that person going to get a teacher? And but you don't know. One spot in among all this papa karma, if there is one spot like a Saptarishi coming in front of a Valmiki, the whole thing has got changed. How do you know whose fate is taking them where? Svena bhagade ye nopadavati. Correct? Like that, even if a papa krittama is there, if that right acharya comes and if that is there in that person to attain it, once he attains, all the papas will be just below in the ocean and he will be going through this jnana santarishis. Such a simple way, telling that there is no exclusion. So tomorrow, no one can come and say, they are all lucky people. हम तो पापी है, हम क्या किए, हमें क्या मालूम पड़ेगा. Many people say, Sir, ye janam mein to, that is because you have a suboptimal choice. I want only knowledge, but I don't want moksha. Moksha. We'll wait after a few janmas, I will think about it. That's your choice. But if you choose that I want moksha, even the worst of the papas if you have done, the Smriti example is very clear that there is a pramanam, even that will go. Why? Papa is done by what? Papa is done by what? Manas. Chitta. Sukha Dukkha is going to come where? Karma Phala is going to come where? To the Chitta. Not to the Chetana. And you are going to sit in the Chetana boat and keep moving. Let anything happen. Let even people lash you for all the papa. You will say this body hai na chalega khane do jara kuch problem nahi. Aham brahmasmi. There is nothing will happen. Are we able to get this? Okay. How does it work? He gives you the next one. Yathaidamsi samidhognihi bhasmasat kuruterjuna jnanagni sarva karmani bhasmasat kurute tatha. Simple words. Yathaidhamsi. Aindhamsi is aindhana. Indhana means wood, fuel. Okay. Samidha means twigs of the tree. That is indhana. As the twigs of the tree are put as fuel into the fire, what happens? The fire burns it and makes an ash out of it. Similarly, when Jnanam fire is there, all Papa Karma, whatever comes, will just burn off and become ash, and the fire continues to burn like eternally it is there. Very simple way. The logics he is giving. Why? Don't have that guilt. Why is he telling? Remove that moham. Be very clear. You are in a dharma yuddha. You fight the war. After that, if you feel it is a papa, it is your stupidity, because even every papa will get gone if you get into this knowledge. Correct? How? As you put this fuel onto the fire just burns it and makes it into ash, and the fire continues. Like that, this jnanam will just burn everything, and then you will continue to be as jnanam and nothing else. Is it clear? Simple two, three of them, tak, see how easily it has gone. But we will still take these two again. If it is more details are there, I will tell. We can continue in the next class. We will just see this again. Apichet dasi papebhyaha and yathaidamsi, if there is any other point. Otherwise, we will continue with nahi jnanena sadrisham in the next class. Okay. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.
धन्यवाद सर.
Dhanyavada.
धन्यवाद सर.